Hello and welcome to another episode of Business Class. My name is Shantanu Prakash, and today we have a very special entrepreneur with us, Priyanka Gill. Priyanka is the founder of India's largest community for women online. And Priyanka, you have 43 million active users a month.
Across platforms.
Across platforms. That's a mind-boggling figure, considering that it's just taken you 5 years to get from 0 to 43 million. I mean, that's been a very, very fast rise. So tell us about your story and how did you get here?
It's been 5 interesting years, I think. 5 years feels like a long time when you're in the middle of a startup. It's like all good things, they happen oftentimes by mistake. I was living in London and it seemed like a good thing to do. I should start something of my own. And from that, left London, moved to India, and it's been 5 years.
You know, I hear a lot of stories about how people stumble into what they're doing just because they had a desire to do something on their own. But in your case, you're a woman and you were very consciously, you built a platform which is, as you say, about women, for women, run by women. So there's got to be a larger purpose behind what you're doing, considering that PopXO and Plixo and Lexiva, they are sort of so pervasive in the sort of the community of women in India. So tell me a little bit more about the thought process behind choosing this space and not doing something else.
Sure. I always think that we should all do what we know best and we should do what we like. I trained to be a journalist many years ago. I studied English literature at Lady Shri Ram College for my undergraduation. And I was writing, and words have always been something that are very close to me. And I think women are best suited to build companies for women because we understand our psychology, we understand what we need. For example, I mean, this is something to think about. E-commerce as a field is built by men for men. Male engineers, male product managers have built the flow of e-commerce to replicate the male shopping journey. If you go to a mall, you want to buy a stripe tie, you know you're going to walk into Arrow, you're going to pick up your tie and you're going to leave. Yes. That is a very male way of shopping offline, right? That's what e-commerce is today. It is predicated on you knowing exactly what you want, and it is designed to get you in and out with the highest efficiency possible.
Sure.
But that's not how women shop. If I go into a mall, I'll go into a mall with friends. Yes. I'll go in wanting to buy, I don't know, a red jacket, and I'll come out buying black heels because my friends said they look cute on me. For me, shopping is a social experience. For me, shopping is the accidental discovery of interesting product. But that is not what e-commerce is today. And the simple reason for that is male engineers and male product managers have built a product that best replicates their offline experience. So, which is why I say that products for women are best built by women.
So that's a very interesting perspective, and I'm sure a lot of men will have a lot of comments to make on that statement. But it could well be true, and in some sense you already have a competitive edge because you claim to know what women want, and as the joke goes, you know, every man in the world is searching to figure out what do women want.
So honestly,
tell us,
it's not a claim. We have data.
What are your 40 million users telling you? What do women want?
I have data on what women want. I have data that runs back 5 years across millions of women, which are kind of a lot of data points on exactly what they're looking for in life. I can tell you what content pieces work best. I can tell you what women are looking for. There's a space in PopXO where only women sign in and talk to each other. And that's a very interesting place because there are no men allowed in there.
Sure.
And for years, women have been talking to each other about whatever is on top of their head at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, we know what women want because data tells us so.
So you're like a walking encyclopedia on understanding the psyche and insights of women. And in your journey, you've built a very impressive company. I believe there are 200 people who work
close
in the
to
company.
200 people, 68% female.
Yeah, 68% female.
Average age is 25.
Honestly, I thought the ratio will be something like 86% female. So
I mean,
sometimes I'm disappointed that you
No.
employ
I think you've done very well. Gender diversity should work both ways in all companies, including ours. Average age is 25. 98% of our workforce is single.
This amazing platform you've built, it is about women.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
Right,
designed
yeah.
to be by women. It's designed to
Yes.
exclude men.
Yeah.
And we get flack. Why? But I mean, that's the way that we chose for it to be. Women need a safe space where they can be themselves. Women need a safe space where they can talk to each other, and that allows them to be who they want to be. Important for women.
So Priyanka, the content that you do is obviously very local, because this is a platform for Indian
Absolutely.
women, right? So tell us, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people want to, understand the Indian woman as a consumer. There is this whole narrative about the fact that, our per capita incomes are low, okay? We haven't really ventured, from content to commerce, okay? And because our per capita incomes are low, the amount of money the brands are willing to spend on, women consumers is also low. But in some sense, Plixo and all the platforms you've built are sort of destroying or sort of breaking and disrupting the paradigm.
So
right?
honestly,
So
I
what are you seeing in terms of the broader trends about content consumption, about product consumption for women?
I think we can just take a step back actually. Content is the best way, it's the most cost effective way to acquire and engage large user bases, right? The entire marketing spend for PopXO for our group is less than $10,000 a month.
Sorry, say that again.
So as a
It's
group, we
10
spend less than $10,000 a month, which is less than 8 lakhs a month on marketing.
That's it?
That's it, yeah.
Wow,
So
that's
we
an
do
amazing
it,
number.
We do
Yeah.
it because we put out a large volume of content on a monthly basis that actually engages the user base. Users come to our platforms for great content, right? And so content is the best way to acquire a user base. Once you've acquired the user base, then you think, how do I monetize the space that I've acquired? And the points that you made are absolutely true. Per capita income is low. So monetizing content for content's sake in India today is not that easy.
But do you already see that going up? What
It's
does your
going-
5 years of data say?
It's going up. Our revenue on that is growing over 100% year on year. It's going up, right, for sure. But we need it to grow up at a much faster pace. For me to sustain my ambitions as an entrepreneur, for me to sustain what my investors are looking at the company for as well, we need revenue to grow at a multiple that's much faster than what per capita income is basically growing
Sure.
by.
And I believe you have Japanese investors, you
Yes.
have Korean
We have
investors.
Japanese, Korean, Chinese investors in the
Right.
company.
And I can completely understand, why they are there, because it's through you and your platform. They have this unique way to look at the Indian, women
Yeah.
consumer. But tell me, how does India as a market differ from the Chinese market for women's products or the Korean market for Indian products? the
So honestly, I
Japanese
think the biggest difference that you have here is literally spending power right now. China, we are what China was, I guess, a decade ago. I mean, you can whatever number that you want to pick at, at a purchasing power level. The moment that number goes up, you're going to see the same growth that China has seen, right? Similarly for Korea, Korea has 50 million users. There are 5,000 beauty brands, right? India, of course, we have a much larger user base. We have very few brands. So this whole direct to consumer, and that places us in a very unique place to be the home ground for this next generation of brands that women are looking for in life across fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. So today we have this catalog of laptop sleeves and phone covers and tote bags and this whole collaboration that we did with Cartoon Network for Powerpuff Girls. We have just launched t-shirts last week. We're launching skincare in another 10 days or so from now. So we're literally kind of on a daily basis taking out direct to consumer brands for women in India across fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. And it's a boring things that do really well for us. It's the doormats and the wall clocks, which are the two best-selling categories that we have. And I mean, I didn't think that would be the case, but when you step back, it actually makes sense. Women want to express who they are. Why buy a boring doormat when you can buy a PopXO doormat? So those really work. I'm really bullish on what socks will do for us. I'm really bullish on bed sheets. I'm bullish on night clothes. So all of those are items that are unbranded right now. They're badly designed.
So what do you think that the big companies who are leaders in these product categories, socks and doormats, what are they missing out
Even
on?
more than that, it's makeup and skincare.
Yes.
They're completely missing out on talking to the female user as a primary user. Most times women are spoken about in secondary or tertiary terms. the simplest and the laziest way to launch for women is to make something pink.
I believe you're actually setting up physical outlets.
Yes, we
And-
just launched our second one today in the in Mall of India in Noida. The first one was in Select City Walk, and it's really gratifying to physically see people interact with products that have been made and designed. In
They
front of
designed
you.
them in some sense because it's been their voice of the customer.
Our
that designed
users
those products.
choose what works. We
Yeah.
create them into product, and to see kind of this group of young women. Oh my God, Pop Expo is here, and then they run kind of towards, and they're very excited to see the products in real life as
So
well.
is this like a new paradigm of retail according to you?
I think retail has to be something like this. Digital brands are the brands that will get built and launched the fastest. They will scale the fastest as well. I don't see any other form of commerce that will be for the future except this right now.
So if you were sitting across the table with Jeff Bezos, what would you tell him?
I think Amazon is I mean, there's nothing I would tell him. I would be like, oh my God, Jeff Bezos.
Now about women in India.
So, I mean, I had a really interesting discussion with them, and it's a simple thing of recognize women for who they are, build for them as primary users. I think that is a simple truism that holds true for anyone who's trying to build for women. The way that you sell to men is the way that you sell 100% today. You are literally missing out on at least 40% of the demographic by not talking to them. It's not something you do because it's sexually, it's something that's kind of correctness in the sexual space. You're not doing it for political correctness. You're just doing it because it's just good business sense. If you knew how to talk to 50% of your buying consumer properly, wouldn't that be something you want to do?
Fantastic. So PG, as your team calls you, so your company has transformed, right? I mean, there was just you at one point in time with a dream and a vision, and now you went from from some blog to websites to platform to outlets. So where do you see this journey going?
I honestly think that in the past year, in the beginning, you're twisting and turning on a dime. You're doing every single thing under the sun. I've stood in fashion weeks trying to get people to take photographs for kind of this wall that we had. I've physically moved products. We've done these events where 2,000 women came, and we've done that many times. And I always track how much work I do by the steps I take at these events. The first event, I think I almost took 60,000 steps in those 24 hours. We're literally running around that place trying to get the whole thing set up.
And I can see you actually track those
I
steps
do.
with a watch.
Yeah, and then the last event that we did, I took around 15,000 steps, which is kind of considerably more efficiency, a lot more efficiency in the way that it was run. But so we've done that. Fashion weeks. We did India's first Pakistani fashion show at Fashion Week. So,
Interesting.
I mean, I think back as all the things that we've done, it's a lot. And since last year, I really feel that we've found our stride. We are not twisting and turning on a dime anymore. We know exactly what we have to do to have a form of revenue that is replicable, that is entirely in our control, and which is kind of selling interesting products to women and making those products and selling it back to them. So I think we've found this nice pace, which is very hectic, but which is not frantic all the time, so which is nice.
So Priyanka, what are your fears? Do you feel that like some big competitor like Goop, for instance, who want to come to India and sort of disrupt your sleep and peace? What are the anxieties that plague you? Apparently, right now you're in a good place in life. Everything is going well for you.
I think Goop coming here doesn't. I mean, that's not the least. And then that doesn't.
Or somebody like Goop. For
No,
example.
because I think you really have to understand your user to create for the user. No one sitting internationally can come in and do what we do because.
So by that logic, you would be a great acquisition target.
I think I'm really having a great time right now doing what I'm doing. I wake up in the morning raring to go. I really enjoy my day, and I'm very, not satisfied, but I'm very happy with how things are right now. Usual things, we need to make more money, we need to acquire more users, we need more investors in the company, we need to kind of get the company to a self-sustaining stage where you don't need investors in the company as well. So those are the usual things that you kind of worry about on a regular basis.
Tell me what's the potential in India? You already are at 43 million active users a month. How big can this number become?
I think a rule of the thumb is in India, 40% or whatever. I think WhatsApp came out, I think yesterday, saying there are 400 million internet users in the country.
So they said 400 million WhatsApp users.
I mean, that WhatsApp is a great proxy. I imagine that the ones who are not on WhatsApp, they're very, very few. Even if you take that to be the entire universe of internet users in the country, 40% of that is female.
Yes.
And that is my addressable
So
market.
that's 160, so you can still grow 4 times.
I think honestly,
you
even
are.
if today, if I were not to add a single user to our ecosystem, if I can just monetize the users that I have right now, we'd be a very, very happy company. Because remember, my cost of customer acquisition is so low because it's content. I need to make the margins that we sit on a 68% margin right now on the products that we're making. We have an 83% sell through on each product drop that we do. So you put all these numbers together in a spreadsheet. We just have to monetize the users that we have today. And we have users across 6 languages: English, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Bangla, Marathi. The Hindi user is larger than my English user today. All the other 4 languages are growing at a very, very fast clip. So growth is not something that we worry about.
So this whole regionalization, I think internet in India started, it was in English, but now it's rapidly becoming regional. What are the trends that you're seeing in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Gujarati?
I think each user, what holds true for the English user is also true for all the users, because the English user is very different from all the users and they all are different from each other. Okay. What works in English doesn't work in English, doesn't work in the other languages.
So give us some examples of something that worked in English.
So it's
you talked about hair and skin. And
yeah, I mean,
so is it different? You see
the
those
broad
regional
categories are the same, but how you approach a fashion story in all the 6 languages is different for each language.
So give me an example. How would you do it in
for example, in I'm trying to think. In English, one of our first best-selling stories was kurtis under, I think it was $500 or something. Okay. That did extremely well. So something like that is an evergreen story. That will work across all the language because the price point is sensitive out there right now. If I'm trying to do kind of how to get the cut crease eye shadow, that probably would work in English. It probably might not work in the other languages like that. So the Hindi user is still kind of discovering a lot of things that probably the English user is not discovering so much right now. And that holds true for the languages as well. So you have to create for the user, again, as English female user, Hindi female user, Tamil female user. Don't assume that what works here will also work there. That process of discovery is very, very important. And that's
so it's really many different Indias in one.
It is. And also the really important thing to understand is today we have a very large female English user base. I'm sitting here saying that monetizing that user base on content alone is not really practical in today's scenario because of what we spoke about. The vernacular user base is a much larger user base. The monetization challenges are even greater out there. So today, like, there's a lot of positivity around vernacular platforms coming up, vernacular content platforms coming up. I would really love to be in one of those board meetings to understand how are they thinking about monetization. Because we've been in the market for 5 years. We understand the pain, and we have premium female users, which is kind of the holy grail of internet users that brands would pay a lot of a much larger premium for. We have those. And we know where we also are finding interesting spaces to think about. So if you're a vernacular platform or a vernacular user base, how you want to monetize that? It's an entirely different kettle of fish. I think that's a much longer time frame that you're looking at as well. That is not going to happen.
So there is a long-term strategy.
On a content, on product, we are very bullish. Being able to sell to these users is something that we know how to do. 18% of all our users are iOS users, which is much higher than anywhere else is what you see. So income is not something that we worry about so much.
Interesting.
Monetizing them through product is going to be something that we look at.
But that also says that you've penetrated to a certain
you'd be
kind
surprised.
of an audience, right?
52% of our users come outside the 7 main cities.
Okay.
We are huge in Agartala, we are huge in Chandigarh and Jaipur. And
so do you ever get a chance to meet some of your users? Do you ever go and...
I do actually, once in a while, the team organizes this multi-city, they kill me for 4 days, we go and meet users. It's always nice. Because of the videos that we do, between 50 to 150 videos is what we've done in any given month. We get over like 150 million video views in a month for all our videos. So PopXO pretty much lives on her phone, and our stars who are in the videos are literally household names for them as well.
But are you on the videos?
Not so much. Not so much. But I remember one early morning flight, I was walking into the airport with a bunch of our video stars, as we call them. And literally you saw this gaggle of women running. Oh my God, like Cherry is here, and oh my God, Upalna is here. And they were just running I kind of shied away and said, okay.
But you know, a lot of internet companies are identified very closely with the founder, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and they're out there. So they talk in the media.
I'm not reticent by any stretch, but I also feel that the platform is larger than the person.
Of course.
And the platform should speak for itself. So I'm very happy to champion it in investor spaces. I'm very happy to champion it in media as well. But overall, the platform has to be larger than the person.
So, when you look at yourself as an entrepreneur, is it about the money? Is it about the impact? Is it about just having a great time building this company? What defines you?
I think it's all three. At any given point in the day, one of the three will probably be taking precedence over the other. I think the money bit is a very long-term thing, right? If you wanted to make a lot of money, you probably would not be an entrepreneur in the short term because it's a long-term thing that you're playing, right? I probably would earn a much higher salary in other places than I probably do as right now. I really enjoy the impact. I really believe that we have a mission in life as a company. We are here to give voice to women in India. We are here to give them a space. We are here to build products for them. So the whole impact thing is very important. Like the other day, this morning I was kind of going through Instagram and this a blogger had messaged, oh, I was feeling really low, and then Popexo sent me this phone cover that said, "Main apni favorite hoon," and it picked me up, right? So this whole idea of impact and giving voice to our users is very, very important to us, and that's what drives me. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think of that in any given month, over 43 million people have seen something that your company has created.
So you feel really powerful. You
Not
feel
powerful. I feel privileged in many ways that it's almost like a dream come true. And I'm especially since we turned 5 in March, I'm very conscious of the fact that being able to even sit here and talk to you is a great privilege. Being able to work with the team that I do is one as well. So I'm coming from this place of being really grateful for what this has afforded me in many ways. And also, I can wake up in the morning and say, hey guys, we're launching a parenting platform, and in 3 months, we'll have that parenting platform. In 6 months, we will get 1 million people on that platform as well. So that is amazing. I don't think anywhere else in the world, at any other given time, that you'd be able to do something like this at this pace.
That's wonderful, Priyanka. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And what an amazing and inspiring story. And we really wish that, in some sense, all your dreams come true, which you're dreaming on behalf of the millions of Indian women out there. And you give them a moment in their lives to feel happy about themselves, irrespective of all the challenges that women and all people in India face on an everyday basis. So here's Priyanka, an entrepreneur who's created a unique and one of the largest platforms of its kind in India, but she's not stopping here. Her company is all of 5 years old, and there's lots more in store. Thank you so much, Priyanka.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.